And the time is 9 o'clock. The board is in session to conduct its weekly open business meeting. All three commissioners are present, and we have a room full of guests, including our distinguished assessor.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, are there changes to the agenda?
No, sir. He doesn't speak German very well.
Okay.
Oh, no, you were the better of the two. Sorry.
New business. We'll now take up two resolutions and ordinance under new business. I'm going to open public hearing on resolution number 2633. Is there anyone that would like to provide testimony?
I saw Seiler online. If he'd like to, he could, but it's pretty cut and dry. We're just giving.
This is donation of surplus.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone else that would like to provide testimony? If not, I'll close the public hearing. Is there discussion from the board?
Mr. Chair, I'm ready to make a motion as this is donation of surplus to the counties as listed on the agenda. So I'll move to approve resolution 2633 as listed on the agenda.
Okay.
Second.
There, second. You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Right.
Aye.
I'll now open a public hearing on resolution number 2634. Is there anyone who would like to provide public testimony on this resolution? It's a resolution on additional security system at the jail. Is there anyone like to provide testimony?
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
just real briefly, this is a continuation of the jail security system. The sheriff's office is wanting to purchase some more cameras for their system out there. This company, Integrated Security Resources, had initially put those cameras out there for them, and so they're requesting to have that same company put in the additional cameras.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to provide public testimony? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Is there discussion from the board?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I move to approve resolution number 2634 as listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Right?
Aye.
We'll now have ordinance number 922, revisions to the noise ordinance. I'll open a public hearing on ordinance number 922. Is there anyone here to provide public testimony?
There is.
You're acting so formal this morning.
Well, it is formal.
It is a formal, yeah,
It's a pretty important deal.
yeah.
So commissioners, I have just been informed of this here recently. I have not had a chance to be part of this discussion. I was not invited to this discussion. And I have concerns about this. It's been 65 years. We've had an exemption for the ordinance out there. And it kind of comes as a shock to me that I was not involved, nor was the citizens, the Ada County, the Expo Idaho Advisory Group. It comes as kind of a shock considering all the stuff that's going on at Expo Idaho right now. You to make an ordinance change we've had exempt for 65 years. I clearly don't know how this is going to impact our business. I have not had a chance to have any discussion about this, whether it's going to impact it, make it better or worse. We've not had any discussion about the baseball field and whether or not the delay of games due to weather, double headers, or anything has been considered in this. I just think this needs to be delayed until after the fair, until we've had a chance to have your director and the fair board be engaged in this operation. It seems a little unfair that I have not been involved in this or had a chance to have any dialogue.
Sure, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
I'm going to move then to table this. We assumed that Lorna had talked to you about this, but that was a wrong assumption. So we've been working on this for a little over a year because of issues that are happening out at Shakespeare. And so this was legal's potential solution to the problem, which really wouldn't impact you because we would go ahead and continue to improve those. But let's go ahead
Well,
and
I
table
don't know
this.
if I agree with that. I guess I gotta see what the outcome of this is, because this is a shock to me and it really impacts our business, and I gotta take a deep breath because it's a little bit making me perturbed. Well, it doesn't get around. I mean, this is not good business to sit there and have your director not involved in a decision that impacts that whole facility.
I was I've read a couple of legal decisions that we've granted, and I believe you've had a our legal has said that a blanket exemption is problematic. But
What's involved, that could mean like the music festival, the car.
Lorna is the
Okay,
sign
so I'm
attorney
sorry,
for the property.
I'm a little upset about
well, if
this.
you made up your mind,
Idaho Fair, even if it was just a pro forma ratification, but we can table this.
well, table, no problem.
ULI is taking a gobble up a bunch of our time, and I think that gives me a chance to maybe set this up for the Western Idaho Fair Board so that they can have a chance to have.
So we would just be then, if we tabled it to after, to September, end of September, we need to check with legal just to make sure that the reasons that they're doing this, that there's no problems.
Sometime in September, that would be great.
Because this was supposed to, I think, primarily,
Well, we'd like to table it to, the end of September if it doesn't, if,
2 weeks and then check with legal when you get back from your trip.
and then retable it for a final date. Glad you brought this to our attention
Ah,
again.
thanks for.
But
putting
it's,
this on,
it's pretty,
so-
you know, I've
Don't-
never had to deal with this.
Don't beat around the bush. Tell us what you really think.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to table ordinance number 922.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
All right, you've heard the motion. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Right?
Aye. And Mr. Chair, I might add that we should probably include the director.
Involved too, because the stadium was on there as well, and I think as you look at, thank you very much.
Absolutely. I'll entertain a motion on the
Did we need,
licenses.
did we,
To approve the licenses as identified on the.
I'll second that.
You've heard the motion. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Phil is going to be up in Coeur d'Alene for the conference this week.
And we appreciate
I agree with
the
that.
work.
And then we get BOE. Okay.
Yep.
Anything else for us?
No, sir.
Okay. We next have up claims journal. May I have a motion?
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to authorize the claims, payment of the claims. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Right?
Aye.
Okay, next.
Office.
Okay. Do we have a second on the motion?
Second that.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Right?
Aye.
We have our distinguished assessor, Mr. McQuaid here. Do you have any updates for us, Mr. Bob?
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, for the last couple of weeks, the question has been, what is the reaction going to be when assessment notices are sent out with a 26% median increase? Talking to the supervisor, she said, we've received maybe a few more calls this year compared to last year. And my own personal experience, which of course is limited, everyone seems to be very accepting of it. So we'll just, who knows what's going to happen with Board of Equalization. So that's on the assessment side.
As are we.
Pardon me?
As are we. We'll
Yes.
see you up
Oh,
there.
yes.
Yep.
Okay.
That's everything from
Thank
the
you.
assessor's office.
We have 2 tax cancellations and 1 casualty loss. Is there any discussion?
Well, Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve the tax cancellations as listed on the agenda, which include 1 tax cancellation for 2019, 1 for 2020, and a casualty loss, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Right?
Aye.
Oh, we have Beth? Oh, okay, go ahead.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners.
Aye.
Have the monthly report for May, investment report. Not a lot of big changes. We just had one purchase this past month of a mortgage-backed security, just under $1 million. So the fact that we've been buying the mortgage-backed securities has helped us to achieve more yield than we had in the past, and because of the new investment policy that was approved last year, has given us that opportunity to earn more, and it's been playing out. We, of course, don't know how the interest rates will go going forward, but we monitor it very closely. Really, that
Can
was
you,
the
just
only
for
big
the,
change.
for the record, we're not balanced again, and I know probably what the answer is, but just for
Yeah.
the record, so if you could state why the 31,025.
Yeah, that's made up of 3 different items. One of them is the ADP checks. That's the ongoing issue with Ada Central communicating with FAB, so over time that'll go away. We had some book transfers with the payroll account. It did happen, right at the end of the month. $850, that's cleared up. That's kind of a timing issue.
Okay.
And then the other miscellaneous checks returned, that has to do with our positive pay file. So we have, for a long time, we had a 2-way match with our positive pay, And what that means is when the county issues checks, they'll match, we send a file to the bank, and we would include the check number and the dollar amount. And then the bank, when that check was presented, it would have to match what we told them it would be. Some months ago, we included a payee positive pay. So it's a three-way match now. And what that means is the name on there also has to match. So we do get exceptions from time to time in there. Often it's because of the file can't include a really long name in it, for example, or the checks in the file may have the last name first, and then on the check it has first name first, last name last. So we have a finance person that monitors that every day, and they will view those checks and then research it and say, you know, hit a little check box basically in our system and say, yes, this is a good check, it's okay to pay it. The default setting is if that doesn't get done, it's going to reject the check. So in this case, I think there was 11 checks that were reviewed, and the box basically was checked in the banking system, but the submit button didn't get submitted.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, and so although the finance person thought they had clicked them and submitted it, it didn't get submitted, so therefore they were rejected. So they went back to the people, so we're working that out, and in FAB they show as out, but in our bank they show as not cleared. And so that's an issue that will clear up as the checks get resubmitted.
Okay. It might be helpful, Mr. Chair, is when you report, come back with the reports, if you can just make a statement for the public that the last quarterly has been reconciled and it is balanced, or if it isn't, state the reason.
The last monthly?
Yeah, or whatever. This is quarterly, right?
This is a
Monthly, this
yeah.
is monthly, yeah. Yep. Yep, so that way we know it has been reconciled. And if
Okay.
it hasn't, then we'll know why.
Certainly.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other questions for,
Just the LGIP isn't looking so good. But,
Yeah, the returns on LGIP, we do have a lot of money in there, but the returns have gone down quite a bit, and it's because of the investments primarily that they keep in there have to be highly liquid, and right now, the highly liquid investments just return hardly anything.
yeah.
yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we'll have billing services.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Shara here?
I'm here online. Can you guys hear me
Hi.
okay?
Hi, Shara. Yeah, I had a question on this one. So it looks like they have a manufactured home that they're stating that it's used for storage, but I guess my question is, what we're showing here is a home, and then I think the manufactured home. Is the home being charged the trash?
Yes. So, the mandatory ordinance says that each residential structure must have trash service. But in this situation, we are billing an account at the main structure.
Okay.
So because of that reason and the history of the account, I feel it would be okay to go ahead and approve this, but I will leave that up to you guys.
Okay. Mr. Chair, follow up.
Okay.
Shara, was there any proof that the house is being used for storage, photos sent in, or just their word for it?
With the application process, it really is just based on the customer's word and the information they provide on the application. We don't require them to send any more proof other than that.
Okay. Is this the first time they've applied?
It looks like they've made this request since about 2017, but this is the first time there's been an actual formal process.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve the trash service suspension request as listed on the agenda, but I'd like to instruct staff to ask, since this has been going on for a number of years, for the owner to go ahead and take some pictures of the inside of the trailer, the manufactured home, so we have something on record.
Okay. I guess I just have a concern that that's not currently part of our process. Is that something that we would need to discuss amending the ordinance or policy change or?
I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve this, and then let's circle back and take a look at that. Because I think we want to make sure if other taxpayers are subsidizing, for example, we want to make sure that it's legitimate. So we'll go ahead then, I'll make a move to approve the trash service suspension request as listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye?
Next up, we have
Thank you.
grants. Thank you.
And then Sandy, can you make a note? That we'll follow up with that, thank you.
We have grants up. Are there questions or discussion regarding grant application 2108A? For the record, this is Biden bucks. ARPA.
Now, Mr. Chair, I believe we should be getting an amount close to 94 million, something like that. Don't know the exact amount, Trent?
Total, yes, that is correct, but this first payment will be half that.
Okay.
Is there further discussion?
No, Mr. Chair, I'm ready to make a motion.
I'll take a motion on grant number 2108A.
I move to approve and ratify grant number 2108A, signed by Commissioner Beck on June 3rd, 2021, as listed on the agenda, and authorize the chair to sign the appropriate documents on behalf of the board.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Right?
Thank you. We'll now take up interim event agreements and concessionaire agreements for Expo, Idaho. Are there any questions or discussion on these agreements?
Mr. Chair, what is grappling, Bob Batista?
Grappling
for
is a
something.
form of wrestling.
Wrestling.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, everybody's giggling over, you didn't know either.
I could have made something up real easy and had fun with this,
You
but I
could've.
decided we're on the record.
I knew what it was.
I guess taking after grappling, yeah, okay.
It's kind of like a widget. No.
Ah,
All right, and who sponsors these tournaments, grappling tournaments?
The grappling industry.
well, that makes sense.
Sure does.
Okay.
It's a local promoter that comes out and helps with younger kids grappling. It's kind of a form of wrestling, so.
Kind of. Okay.
Well,
There's several different types of wrestling.
there is. Some's pro.
There's Greco, there's
And how can,
Parking is Northwest Youth Court.
I'm sorry?
The parking, the second item.
yeah, is that an
Yeah.
event? What is that?
Oh, I know what that is. So there's a little parking lot right next to the west parking lot there, and there's people are having a bunch of development at their area, and so they needed a place to go have their people park their cars. So we've took a little area off to the side and let them pay to park their cars, and then they shuttle them back and forth to their place of work. Doing everything we can to make a buck.
Heck yeah.
Grappling?
good idea.
That's the way we work.
I'm gonna have Ryan make the motion on this one.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I move to approve the two interim event agreements. And, we have also the 8 concessionaire agreements as listed on the agenda, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
You've heard the motion. Is there any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
We now have agreements. Are there any questions or discussion regarding the agreements on today's agenda? There's 5 agreements.
And Mr. Chair, I believe the only question I had was the Army Corps of Engineers, that's supplemental law enforcement at Lucky Peak. And I think traditionally we've done that in the past. So I've read through all the agreements, including that one this morning on behalf of the board.
From our IT, is that your,
They are the sort of one and done vendor on that. That is how our 911 phone calls come into dispatch, and so that is one of the agreements. It's actually, it's a term that meant more things back in the early 2000s. It's just the county since I think 2000, 2002. And those services, that's how long we've been running those services. Prior to that, it was just plain old 911. Then there's enhanced 911, and soon in the next year or so, you might see.
all right, Mr. Chair, with that, I'll
Aye.
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 Thank you. We now have procurement.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do. We have 5 items for your consideration this morning. The first of which is opening of bid 2-1. We have 3 responses for this bid. And
What's an RTU again?
Okay, we're ready.
Start the music.
next up here, we should see the bid table. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah,
You got my back.
Got your back all the time, brother.
literally.
Okay.
You had to update?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
well,
didn't really
every time
tell
we go
us.
through updates here, we curse Steve O'Mara.
Well,
They released.
apparently we're having just a little difficulty with the bid table.
Got to put some kindling in that bonfire.
We're gonna have to table it anyway,
Yeah.
so.
So why don't we just do that? Why don't we go ahead and just read at the next open business meeting for the award. Cascade Enterprises Incorporated and TML Commercial Services. We would like to request that this be tabled for award to the June 15th.
Is today on your side, or how will the
Yep.
access?
So this will
Bid
go,
table.
this will go out onto Bonfire. We'll update it. And so all the bidders that have
048, Ada County Jail handlers, boilers, and rooftop unit.
Aye, aye.
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 Okay.
the opening of bid 21051, the Ada County Courthouse Public Defenders Remodel 2021. Yay! We did receive 4. Yes.
Down there. Much
Bathrooms,
needed.
offices.
That's the last unoccupied real estate in the whole courthouse.
Let's see if I can get this
We've
one.
been working on that one for 2 years,
while,
2.5
yes.
years, yeah.
Many uses have been entertained.
So on this one, we'll have the name of the bidder, the bid amount, we'll have a base bid, and there's gonna be a $20,000 owner's contingency on this project. Also, just to note, there's a deductive line item for the removal of a grease fire system on this. So the old hood that was used by the restaurant before
Oh,
is a deductive line item. So the contractor comes in, takes it out, keeps it, but gives us a deductive line item for the hood. Okay, all right, we've got this one to work. So, if you'd like, I could go ahead and read those
Go
into the record. So our first contractor up there is Anderson Construction Company, and they've got a total bid amount of $699,441. The second bidder is EKC Incorporated, and they've got a bid amount of $730,550. Third bidder is Pacific Source Construction with a bid of $787,049. And the fourth contractor is Radix Construction with a bid of $799,187. And we'll need a little time to review these bids as well. So we would like to request that this be tabled for award consideration to the June 15th, 2021 open business meeting.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to table the award of bid 21051, Ada County Courthouse Public Defenders Remodel 2021 to June 15th,
I'll second that.
2021.
I'll second that.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Now we'll open RFP 21054, Ada County Elections Ballot Mailing Services.
Yeah, so Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, we have before you this morning the opening of RFP 21054, the Ada County Elections Absentee Ballot and Mailing Services. We received 4 proposals for this project. And if you're ready for Jacob to open, we'll continue.
We're ready.
All righty. And for this project, we're just looking for the name of the proposers. And we have the 4 proposers up there. If you'd like, I'd read them to the record. First one is Fort Orange Press Incorporated. Second is NPC Incorporated. Third is Provo Test Solutions. And fourth is Runback Election Services.
Mr. Chair,
Ben.
are those local companies? I don't recognize any of the names.
Those do not look to be local, but I'm not entirely sure. Runback sounds familiar. NPC was one that we just awarded for the other elections mailing. And I know that those folks are out of Pennsylvania, so.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the table date?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Kenyon, we will need some time to evaluate these proposals, and we would request that this be tabled for final ranking and award consideration to the June 22nd, 2021 open business meeting.
How is it that three of them have a bunch of pages and Fort Orange has no pages at all?
Sometimes Bonfire, the way they upload can mess up the page count, so you'll see, I think at one point it said negative pages on the project once. It's just, it happens.
Sounds like an IT guy thing. Okay.
Was the last contract we gave them to mail for the library election, or?
The last one was for the elections mailing and ballots, and so.
It was for notices mostly. This is absentee ballots. So if we're notifying voters and sending out like precinct change notifications, stuff like that, that would be the previous mailing contract that we did. This is for getting absentee ballots.
Okay, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Ready for a motion? I'll go ahead
Sure.
and move to table the final rankings for RFP 21054, Ada County Elections Absentee Ballot and Mailing Services to June 22nd, 2021 during OPM.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
We'll now have RFP 21058, Ada County Benefits Consultant, Broker, and Advisor.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, we have RFP 21058, the Ada County Benefits Consultant, Broker, and Advisor for your consideration this morning. We received 7 proposals for this project, and Jacob.
And he's on the advisory committee.
Yep.
Committee to
Bethany's
review.
gonna have a lot of fun reading ahead of her.
All 7? Yeah.
Proposer for this project is Gallagher Benefit Services Incorporated Group, and 7th is the Partners Group.
Buckner Company.
Yep, they're a local company here. Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Kenyon, we will need some time to evaluate these proposals, and we would like to request that this be.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to table the final ranking.
That.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, we have one more. All right, yeah, we do. One tenant improvement, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Ada County Procurement received 1 response for bid 21057, the Ada County Juvenile Court Services Courtroom 1 Tenant Improvement 2021. And we will.
Please.
Okay, letter dated June 7th, 2021 to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding bid 21057. The bidder is TK Construction and Contracting LLC with a bid of $57,060. LLC as the lowest responsive bidder in the amount of $57,060.
Okay, Mr. Chair. 1 tenant improvement, 2021 to TK Construction and Contracting LLC in the amount of $57,060.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
You've heard the motion. We can then recess. We are in recess. Thank you. Okay, good morning. Today is Monday, June the 7th. The time is in session to conduct its weekly open business meeting. All 3 commissioners are
Down this morning, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, well, hey.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'll move to authorize payment of claims as listed on the Claims Journal dated.
Say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Well, Sean, feeling better?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner.
Yeah, it looked pretty head-on, wasn't it?
What's that?
Wasn't it a head-on collision?
Or two, and it would have been a direct head-on.
Yeah.
And he said the airbags didn't deploy?
Correct, the airbags did not deploy, so we're working, and the frame rails really hadn't been bent. So based on where the sensor is located, that could be why, but certainly working with the manufacturer to make sure that there wasn't some kind of issue with that. Have a good week up in Coeur d'Alene.
It looks like you were busy over the weekend. Saw, I think it was this weekend, saw, yeah, one of our folks going up towards Lucky Peak area.
Yeah,
The boating
busy
has
weekend
started.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Sean.
All right, thanks, Sean.
Let us know if
Thank
you need
you.
anything.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be in